what exactly is going on in Sudan. Why is there unrest in the African nation? And what is the on-ground situation there right now? Here's a report on that.
Shots of heavy weaponry, fighter jets flying low overhead, houses struck. Africa's largest nation, Sudan, is going up in flames. These are visuals from Sudanese capital, Khartoum. The city has turned into a battleground. At war, the army and the powerful paramilitary group, the Rapid Support Forces. It's a tussle for power that has left over 270 dead and 2,600 injured. An Indian has also been killed in the crossfire. Once allies, the Sudanese army and the RSF together overthrew the civilian government in a 2021 coup. The question that emerged, who will have control of the country? A tug of war took shape between the two. Matters intensified when a proposal was made to merge the Sudanese army and the RSF. The proposal was made during talks between the army and civilian leaders to hammer out a deal. The war took a further violent turn when the chief of the RSF was elevated to the position equal to the Sudanese army chief. As a result, tensions are sky high in densely populated areas of the country. Thousands of civilians continue to flee the capital. All of this in the last few days of Ramzan. Food, water and basic essentials are running dry. It is reported that 31 natives from Karnataka are stranded in Sudan. On Tuesday, the Indian embassy in Sudan issued an advisory against venturing out, suggesting rationing supplies. The advisory said the situation may continue for a few more days. While international calls are growing for cessation of hostilities, Japan is already planning to rescue its 60-odd citizens in Sudan. They are planning to use a plane for this evacuation. With the situation not looking very encouraging, it's time India makes its move to bring back stranded Indians from Sudan.
Because majority.
Let me go across to our guests who are joining us this evening. Mansi Sheth is the daughter of an Indian who's stuck in Sudan. Vijay Prakash is spokesperson of the BJP in Karnataka. And Shatabashish Shivanna is spokesperson of the KPCC, that's the Karnataka Congress. Thank you very much. Mansi, I'm coming to you first. Before I go to the politicians, I want to come to someone who's directly impacted with what is going on in Sudan. When you hear this political tutu meme in India over the evacuation of your father and all 3,000 Indians who are stuck there, does it anger you? Does it frustrate you?
Anybody would want to use this, to turn this into something it's not. We are talking about families, we're talking about individuals' lives here. Why are we bringing these issues into play here? We want all the Indians that are in Sudan right now, we want them all to return safely. I mean, that is what I want. I don't know what anybody else wants. But for us, it's a matter of getting, everybody's family. Everybody has family everywhere. So for us, it's a matter of just stop looking at the politics, the internal politics of the situation, and everybody needs to come together and focus on the actual pressing issue at hand, which is that there are 3,000 Indians. I'm a Gujarati. I'm not talking about the other, I don't know how many 300 Indian Gujaratis they may be stuck there. I'm talking about all the Indians. I'm talking about everybody who is stuck there, who needs to be evacuated. So for me, it's not about who's from which part of the country. The only important thing for me is that they are part of this country and they need to be evacuated as soon as possible, because right now the reports I'm getting from my father at the hotel is that they are currently running supplies. They are running out of supplies. We're talking about food, water and electricity. Very soon they will not even be able to use banking apps for money transfer. They will not get any access to water. There will be no access to food because the supermarkets have been looted. So why are we not focusing on all of this and looking at the whole situation as a whole, rather than looking at it as 31 Kannadigas being stuck there versus simply the fact that 3,000 Indians are stuck there?
I agree with you. I agree with you, and that is why I'm going to get Mr. Shivanna in, who's spokesperson of the Karnataka Congress. Mr. Shivanna, I understand Mr. Siddaramaiah's sentiment. There's an election in the state of Karnataka, and he's only speaking about 31 people in the of the Hakki-Pikki tribe. Fact is, if this wasn't parochial politics, he would have probably spoken about all 3,000 Indians who are stuck there who need to be evacuated. I'll get to the BJP in just a bit and why they think the matter was politicized, but I think it was petty parochial politics because he didn't speak of the 3,000 Indians who are stuck in Sudan. He's just speaking of the Kannadigas who are stuck in Sudan, which is very unfortunate.
No, see, all of you have got your facts wrong, and I'll be more than happy to correct all of you. The Karnataka State Disaster Monitoring Center, under the Revenue Department of the state BJP government, received a call from one of the stranded tribal community members seeking for help to return home. And secondly, he also stated that there are 31 members of the community who are stranded, and maybe there are more Kannadigas who are stranded as well. Now, Siddaramaiah ji, a compassionate and empathetic leader, responding to this particular distress call, puts out a tweet expressing his concern and anxiety, and also demanding immediate and affirmative action. Now, I'm sorry, but you didn't put out his entire tweet, but I have it with me, and let me read it out to you. He also said in the very same tweet that it is unfortunate to know that we have lost 1 Indian and 60 others in the ongoing civil war in Sudan. My deepest condolences to their families, and I pray for peace in the entire region. He's praying for peace in the entire war-struck Sudan. Now, the media channels or the opposition very cherily handpick a certain portion of his quote and allege politics. My question is, how low does one have to stoop to question the timing of this tweet? How low does one have to stoop to allege politics in this? It only takes a political vulture to question such a humane and considerate tweet. He's more than, he wants all citizens. Forget, it's not about 3,000 Indians or 31 Kannadigas. It is much more than that. He wants peace in the entire region.
Okay.
And what is so appalling about this?
You are saying...
What is the need to be appalled about this? Just confirm the actions that you have taken to get these people back. Just inform the people of India that you are taking enough and more measures to ensure that they are safe. And that is it. There was no necessity for this.
Mr. Vijay Prasad, Mr. Shivanna from the Congress party. Okay, Vijay Prasad, Mr. Shivanna from the Congress party is calling the BJP political vultures. He's saying what was so appalling if a senior leader from the Congress party asked the central government and the external affairs minister what they were doing to evacuate the 31 tribals in the state. What is political about it?
I will certainly appreciate the stand taken by Mansi. I'm really with her. On behalf of the Government of India and behalf of the Ministry of External Affairs, I would like to categorically say that all the 3,000 Indians who are stuck there, including her father, including her parents, who are stuck there, will be rescued safely and they'll be back to India. Having said that, she is very sensitive. I really appreciate the stand she has taken. But at the same time, if you look into the stands the Congress has taken by the very insensitive stand these people have, the Congress and Siddaramaiah has taken, and including Surjewala has taken, it is very appalling. And this is the time. Do you think this is the time? Not just the External Affairs Minister who is appalled. The entire country is appalled by the way the Siddaramaiah has treated. If you look into the tweet, Siddaramaiah, if you look into the threat,
we are just appalled. When you speak of the whole country, I can tell you as a citizen of this country that I am appalled with the politics that is playing around it. My question to you is this. Did in your view, the External Affairs Minister of this country overreact or not? Ek minute. No, Mr. Prasad, hear me out. Hear me out. I'll let you have your. I'll give you a chance to speak. I want to ask you if you think the External Affairs Minister of this country overreacted. What was Mr. Siddaramaiah asking? He was
See.
asking when these people will be evacuated. Could the External Affairs Minister not have just said, we are looking into it, we are trying our best, it will be done? Simple, professional response. Why did he need to politicize the entire thing?
Congress has the habit of politicizing the external emergency situation. This is not the first time they have got into this kind of situation. Even in the past, during our Operation Ganga, during our Dev Shakti, during our Vande Bharat, Congress has politicized and they have tried to score few political brownie points even during at the time of situation. During the recent past, during the Ukraine and Russia war, India has got the credit of stopping the war for 2 hours just to evacuate the Indians from the war-torn the country. So, having said that, at the same time, India has gone extra mile, taken every precaution to rescue all the Indians, be it Operation Ganga, being Dev Shakti, being Vande Bharat.
Sir, let's not go back into history.
Even during the COVID.
They have just done their jobs. The External Affairs Ministry has just done their job. I want to ask you, don't give me a list of all the evacuations that India has done. I'm not interested in that. I know it. I want to ask you, did the External Affairs Minister overreact? This was a query that was posed by a senior leader in this country. Why politicize it?
No. We are not politicizing. We are busy in evacuating, making sure that all the Indians stranded in Sudan are safe and secure. And at any point of time, we don't want this insensitive statement to affect the safety and security of the Indians.
Mansi?
The way Siddaramaiah has tweeted.
Do you believe the politicians?
Safety and security.
Give me a minute. Okay.
I am not interested in what politicians have to say, and I am not concerning myself with these issues. Okay, I am concerned about my father, who is a senior citizen who has health issues, and all I want is for him and the others to just reach safely. So I don't know why this whole conversation is descending into some chaotic debate that is not going to help anybody at this point. And I'm honestly just not concerned with this.
I agree with you.
With these conversations. All I want is for
with this political tutu meme that has played out in 24 hours.
Because has set up a control room, hotline phones, and where the calls are actually being answered. So at the moment, I am just holding on to that kind of hope that something will happen soon. That's all I have to say, honestly.
No, just because Shreya.
Mansi, can I ask you what the response? Just a minute. I'm speaking to Mansi right now. Mansi, can I ask you, who you've been in touch with from the Indian side, who's liaising with the Sudanese, and what their response to you have been? Okay, I believe we've lost our line to Mansi, and that's a question I do want to ask. I want to ask her what the response of the Indian government has been to her, what they have been telling her in terms of bringing her father back home. But yes, Mr. Vijay Prasad, you want to respond to what Shivana is... actually, Shivana, you want to respond to what Mr. Prasad has been saying?
And, I can relate to Mansi more than anybody because I was a student when the COVID pandemic hit the world, and I was stranded in UK as well. I took the last flight out, and I have friends and family who were stranded in the UK. Supermarkets were, robbed off, just like Mansi mentioned. But the point is not that. If the finance minister or anybody from the government can tell us what is the standard operating procedure, what steps have you taken before any evacuation? You have to release an SOP. Where is the SOP? Is there an SOP? Let the BJP spokesperson answer if there is an SOP and where is it? And there is an Indian Community Welfare Fund that is specifically designated for such distress calls. Have you put that to use? Do you know where that fund is? Are you putting it to right use? If you can't, there was an Operation Sukoon under the Prime Minister Manmohan Singh, where, we rescued 11,000 people from Libya. Indians, Nepalis, and Sri Lankans. If you need some help, take some pointers from that. I'm not trying to politicize the issue. I have full respect for the government, and I hope.
Shreya, I would like to come in here. See, the Ministry of External Affairs has clearly said.
Anxiety. Where does our anxiety stem from, sir? It stems from your mismanagement. It stems from your mishandling of.
No. I totally disagree with what the Congress spokesperson is telling. See, the Ministry of External Affairs has clearly said their details and locations cannot be made public for the
Shivana,
safety
just a
and
minute. Both of you can't speak over each other. If you both speak over each other, we cannot understand any one of you. You have spoken, Shivana. You have spoken. You have put the Congress party's stand forward. In fact, Mansi is so upset with this political bickering that she doesn't want to be part of this show. She says, I don't want to be part of this politics because it is not helping. And I understand, I understand the way she's feeling, and I even apologize to her. But Mr. Prasad, I'm giving you 20 seconds to have your say, and I'm wrapping this show.
No. See, the one thing what I would like to say is the Ministry of External Affairs and Government of India and the leadership of Modi, we are going extra mile to make sure that all the Indians will be rescued and they'll be safely and with safety brought back to India. And we are taking all efforts, and we are in touch with our embassy in Sudan, making sure that each and every Indians who are stranded in Sudan will be brought back at any cost. We are in touch with the Sudanese government also, and we will bring back all the stranded Indians.
That is good to hear. Mr. Prasad, that is good to hear.
Yes,
that is very good to hear. And that is exactly what the External Affairs Minister needed to say in his tweet responding to Mr. Siddaramaiah. That's exactly what he needed to say when he responded to Siddaramaiah over Twitter. He didn't need to make it political. He didn't need to, link this to the Karnataka elections, because, everything is not about politics and elections. There are lives at stake. There are 3,000 lives at stake here. We'll leave it there for the moment. Out of time. Mr. Prasad, Mr. Sivanna, thank you very much. Thank you very much. Completely out of time. Thank you very much for joining us. I'm slipping into a quick break on the show. And up next, I'm going across to what has happened in the Supreme Court. It was day 2